I get it. You're like, Molly, you really jumped the shark with this last title, with this episode, and I get it. But you clicked on it because you're curious, and I'm just gonna put it all out there, and it's not gonna be pretty or put together or well spoken or organized. I have no notes. I'm shooting from the hip. But here's the thing, like, when do we stop making things comfortable for the people that have created the systems in which all of this is existing? Like, at what point do we say, yeah, I know maybe it's the last Christmas, and yeah, I know they're getting old, and yeah, I just want to avoid those conversations, but like, where is the personal responsibility there? And I'm not pointing my finger at anybody, I'm pointing my finger at all of us, and largely myself, you know? Imagine sitting down with one of Hitler's children or anyone in the world who's caused great amounts of pain, right? I don't even know if Hitler has kids, so come for me. We're not talking, this is not a factual debate, okay? This was meant to get your attention. What if you were interviewing one of Hitler's kids and you said, why didn't you say anything? I mean, he was the worst dude on the planet. Why didn't you do anything? And you go, well, you know, it was Christmas, it was last Christmas, I didn't want to have any uncomfortable conversations. Well, you would go, yeah, but he was a Hitler, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Like, where is that line? Now, I'm not saying that anybody in my family is Hitler, and I'm not saying that anybody in your family is Hitler. I'm probably going to get banned for saying Hitler so many times. But the point is, where is that line? If your family members, friends, social, boss, whatever, if anybody in your universe is directly impacting the things that are suppressing you and oppressing you and full on hurting other people, at where in that line are you now accountable? Why do people get to feel comfortable, or why are people not made to feel uncomfortable in this moment? Now listen, 15 years ago, whatever, if you said you voted for Bush and I was like, listen, I can't do business with you, I get it. It would have been a little far-fetched, but this ain't it. That we're not there anymore. The stakes are so much higher. And this morning yesterday I posted on LinkedIn and I said, genuine question here. Like, why are you guys, so many of you, avoiding politics? Because I go to LinkedIn and it's business as usual. It's a bunch of bros talking about how much money I hate it. I hate it there. It makes me so angry. It reminds me of the George Floyd summer when I went on there and I realized how many fucking white supremacists were on my feed that just came out of the woodwork because they felt emboldened to, and it feels like that all over again. And I posed a question. I said, why are you so quiet? Are you afraid to lose clients? Are you afraid you won't be able to pay your mortgage? Like, what are you so worried about? And the two answers that I got were like, number one, people are worried that like no matter what you say, you lose half the market, which I get that, but I'm also calling bullshit because half of the population is not on Trump's side. Half of the population does not want these immigration raids to be carried out the way they are. That is not real. So it's this imaginary argument that you're going to lose half your business. Well, fucking goodbye then. I don't want your fucking fascist fucking dollars anyway. I don't want them. If you have a problem with me standing up for human rights and civil rights, get the fuck out of my face. I mean, honestly. And so, yeah, okay, I lost half the market. Okay, cool. Bye. See you later. You will be replaced. They will be replaced. Right? If me being upset about what's happening in our regime makes you not want to do business with me, good luck, dude. Survival of the fittest, and you ain't gonna make it, okay? You're not gonna make it. So I don't want you on my team anyway, all right? So we're gonna close that door. And then somebody else said to me, and listen, I get it. You're in business. Maybe you're not the boss. It's not your company. If you screw something up, then hundreds of people might lose their job. I mean, I get it. It's not that simple. I get it. Okay. I'm not a 15-year-old at the dinner table, but where is the line? Where is it? I just want to know, where is the line? Is it when like U.S. citizens are being detained and thrown in concentration camps? Like, where's the line? Is it when a white person dies in one of the, like, where is the line? Where is the line? Is having an uncomfortable holiday dinner too much for you in this resistance? I just finished up an interview with Zalal, and she was talking about how the regime put a mother, father, and a 5-year-old girl in prison, and they would torture the little girl's father in front of her because they knew it would upset her and her father would be more likely to break. But we can't get through an uncomfortable fucking dinner? Why is it my job to make people feel comfortable? You're voting for fascism. You're voting for cruelty. You're voting for suffering. And you're voting to destroy your own future and your children. I mean, we could go on for days, but like, where's the line? Why do I owe you anything if that's the decision that you've made? Now, I get it. I just did that episode with Dr. Margaret about empathy. I get it, empathy. I get it. I'm trying so hard to be empathetic. But the problem is I'm too empathetic. But I'm empathetic for the people that are suffering. It's really hard for me to have empathy for the people that are causing it. And if you're sitting idly by and you're white, you're one of those people now. The other answer on my LinkedIn poll was that it just feels like a safe space to avoid having to see things about concentration camps and rapists and pedophiles. And so most of us are pretending like it's not happening and have our heads in the sand. And I appreciated the honest answers from both those people. I am not vilifying them, okay? I have tremendous amounts of respect from both of those people. I think they were providing answers to my question, okay? So, but what the fuck? Are you kidding me, man? So like white people, the people who are like literally destroying everything good about our country, mostly on LinkedIn, okay? Like that raid last week in California for the pot farm. Guess who owns that? 2 fucking white dudes. One of them's an ex-cop. Like, are you kidding me? He called ICE on them. People died because of that. And you know what he is? He's a VC darling because he raised so much money. And LinkedIn celebrates that. So we're going to actively celebrate the people that are destroying our entire society. And not from cannabis, don't get it twisted. I mean from being a MAGA ex-cop person who calls ICE. Because, by the way, you're saying, well, how did you know he called ICE? Because they had a lawsuit against him for unfair working conditions. And people want to vilify the Latinos who were there because the kids were working, and they don't vilify the 2 white dudes that own the fucking company that knew that unoccupied or whatever, they didn't have parents with them. 8 of them were on his property working. He knew that. Those guys knew that. They knew that. But I'm supposed to go to LinkedIn and not talk about this stuff because we just want to put our heads in the sand while we continue to ruin the fucking world? I don't know, man. I'm having a really hard time with this. So what did I do? Well, I called my dad and I said all the quiet things out loud about a week and a half ago. I said all the things that I haven't said my whole life. All of them. I haven't had a good relationship with my dad for most of my life, and we're both really trying, and it's valuable to me. He's 84. I'm more like him than anybody else in my family, even though we're very different in a lot of ways, and I'm trying so hard. But I can't just act like I don't have it in me to swallow that part of myself and pretend like this doesn't matter. Like you care so much about Latinos, but it's not but not enough to have an uncomfortable dinner. You care so much about civil rights and civil liberties, just not enough to maybe upset some client that's not even yours yet. Oh, fuck. We're so doomed. And I let me take that back. I don't want to say we're so doomed. This whole podcast is supposed to be, what do we do next? It's supposed to find a path forward. Well, I'll tell you that the path forward ain't. It ain't not saying anything. And it ain't not doing anything. And it's not pretending like everything is okay on LinkedIn, because everything isn't okay. Everything isn't okay at all. And I've done these 2 interviews with Zara and Zolal, and I'm just like, I'm emotional. I'm empowered and emotional and angry. They had to lose their fathers. They had to lose everything. And they have been fighting their entire lives. And yet they have empathy for me and tolerance for me when I get it wrong. And they educate me. And I don't even feel like I deserve that. But I'm looking at them like, 60 fucking years of a resistance in Iran, and all they want is peace, and they're still fighting for it. And we're not sure if we can, what? Not hang out with our pickleball club because, you just don't want to make any waves? Well, fuck that. Make some fucking waves. Because if you listen to this next interview with Zolal, it is so parallel to the United States, except they're not executing people publicly yet. I've been wanting to do this episode for a few weeks now, and I've just been conflicted on how I wanted to say it or what I want to say. But now you're getting a real me that's not interviewing somebody, and I curse like a sailor, and I fucking earned it. So come at me, bro. I don't care. I don't care if you don't like how much you curse. I don't care. I'm so angry. I'm so upset, and I'm so humbled. Holidays at the Hitlers, man. When you're telling this story to your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids, God willing, they even have a future. Do you want to be the person that stood up, fought for their future? Or do you want to say, sorry kids, I was too busy talking about newsletters on LinkedIn to give a fuck about your future? Or to care that I was part of the problem in ruining it? I was complicit. I was quiet. And I live in Costa Rica. I don't have any kids, and I own my own company. I can say whatever I want. And will I lose clients? No, because they all know me. Do all of them agree with everything that I say? No, and that's great. I don't want a bunch of people exactly like me around me, but they know my heart, and none of them would ever leave me because I'm on the right side of history. And so I beg of you, the next time you're thinking to yourself, well, what do I have to lose? You have everything to fucking lose. You have everything to lose, including the future for your fucking bloodline. You don't have clients to lose. You wish. You should be so lucky that that's the only thing that you're going to lose. That we're all going to lose. And the third answer that I got, he said, well, it's just like sports. I don't watch it, so I don't talk about it. Ain't that the whitest shit I've ever fucking heard in my life? Oh, okay, you're just here like building the systems to create the oppressive fucking state we all live in. You know what I mean? But you're not paying attention. You're just benefiting from it, right? I don't know. Bob said, for you are where you stand in the struggle. Rise up, fallen fighter. Take your stance again. There's a quote that says, if you give up your freedom for security, you end up with neither. Something along those lines. So every time you choose to be a little quiet, every time you choose not to go against the grain, every time when you're in that all-white room and somebody says something racist and fucked up, even if it's a $50 million deal on the table or a $10,000 deal or a $2 fucking sandwich, you better say something. That's where the allyship happens. Yes, protest, all that. Those are great. But you know where it matters? When you're in a room full of people who look just like you, are pushing that narrative and benefiting from these systems. You might, like Kia said, you might not be the match, but you continue to let it burn. You are part of the fire. So please, take inspiration from Zara, Zolal, and all the people that have died for our rights and our freedoms, all the women who marched, and all the people who will die. All the people who will die to fight for our democracy. All the people who have already died. All the people, the 300,000+ people who have already died because of our cuts to U.S. aid and all the other decisions this administration is doing. For them. And you know what? If you go out on a limb and you lose clients, then start talking about who you do want to work with and put that out on LinkedIn, because there's more of us than them. And every time we placate to this small group of stupid motherfuckers, we're letting them win. They are not the majority. They stole the election. That's another episode. They stole the election. And no, a majority of people do not feel that way. The problem is the majority of people that you see, all these Russell Brunson bros and all those guys, even Alex Hormozy, used to like him. He's a fucking red pill bro too. I've unsubscribed from his shit because every time we allow those guys to succeed, the 1%, and we don't say anything and we don't push back, all we're doing is enabling those systems to win, and you're still losing. You're still the Tom Bilyeu, Alex Hormozy? What the fuck happened to y'all? Especially Tom. I used to idolize that guy. I've modeled my whole business after him. I wanted to be as good of an interviewer as Tom Bilyeu one day, and that guy's gone full fucking red pill. End of the world, financial collapse. Why don't you do something about it, Tom? Why don't you use some of your whiteness, and instead of twerking for the algorithm because you're so addicted to likes and comments and whatever, why don't you say something again? Where's your impact, Tom? This is the impact you want to have? You want to impact people with fear? You want to impact people with this red pill bullshit? While you sit comfortably in your mansion? That ain't it. That ain't it. And the people in those that little bit of business you're afraid to lose, they're a minority. The majority are people who are on the right side of things that need your help and need your services. And yeah, maybe your parents are Trumpers, and maybe they don't get to hang out with their grandkids this summer. Maybe they don't get to go to Christmas. And it's not your fault. It's theirs. And until we stop placating to this minority of ill-informed and misguided people, I'm going to put your family in that category, and then the people causing it all, the 1%, we don't owe them anything. So yeah, am I going to lose favor on LinkedIn? Probably not, because people know who I am. And if they don't, that's your fucking problem. I've been this way a long time. People have been rolling their eyes at me for talking about racism for as long as I can remember. This is not a new gig for me. Been here. What? I'll do it again. I got nothing to lose anymore. I never had anything to lose. Except my own integrity. And my own integrity has so much more value than any client, any deal, any contract, any chumminess with the fucking bros. My integrity and your integrity is worth so much more. So I challenge you to think about who it is you do want to work with, who it is you do want to spend your time, and where you do want to put your energies. And I want you to act like your children's future depends on it, because it does. I'm on a soapbox here and I get it. But I talk the talk. I risked everything. I've lived in pain every single day of my life because of the time my father spent in Vietnam being exposed to those chemicals as a swiftboat captain. I had a team of doctors at Bethesda Naval my entire life. I called my doctor 10 years ago. She's the head of pediatrics at Bethesda Naval, Dr. Marilee Poth. And I said, Dr. Poth, I'm having a lot of problems. I can't get any help. I'm in pain every day. I'm having all these surgeries. And she said, Molly, I don't know what to tell you. There's no medical explanation as to why you're alive. I make sacrifice every single day, and that has never been said out loud. The destruction and the damage that that war impacted on my family and me directly has never even been said out loud until last week. So I'm not asking you to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. If you're still listening, I hope you know that this isn't judgment. This is me not having a therapy session this week and me just getting this shit off of my chest because it has been bothering me. And I've had a few friends hit me up and go, hey, was that directed at me? And I go, no. But I guess maybe it's directed at everybody. But it's really directed at me because I'm a principle over circumstance kind of gal. And how can I feel conflicted about other people not making the stand if I don't do it myself? So that frustration is really on me. What kind of an asshole am I if I don't do what I'm asking other people to do, or I'm not even asking other people to do it. I guess today I am, but just what I want in my core, why isn't anybody, I want to believe that deep down that's how we all are. I want to believe that. So help me. Let's stand together. Let's educate ourselves. So at the next family dinner, when somebody says something about Iran, you can actually say, well, actually. And if they don't like the truth, then fucking leave. But why are we placating people that don't like the truth? Why are we placating people that are just wrong and we know they're wrong when they just go, okay. Why are we doing that? The stakes have never been higher. So yeah. I don't have like a good fancy way to wrap this up and say something profound because I got nothing left. I appreciate you letting me vent and listening. And I know in my heart that a lot of you are feeling the exact same way. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, yeah, I fucking hate LinkedIn too, well, find me there and we'll just start stirring shit up together. Because my God, man, what a pale and stale universe that is. So thank you for listening. What do we do next? Well, I think it starts in our own living rooms, and I think it starts on our LinkedIn pages, and I think it starts in the client meetings, at least for me. Thanks for listening.